Horrendous conditions in Paris-Nice once again. Could Lenny Martinez fight back? Julian Alaphilippe going all out in the breakaway. This was the amended high mountain stage from Nice to Oran, 110 kilometers long. They started with okay weather on the Côte d'Azur, but they go up the mountain, up the valley, slowly towards Isola. Well, actually, they went quite quickly. They took out La Colmienne with a long climb in the middle of the stage because the riders would have frozen on the descent. And the final climb is 7Ks, 7%, not particularly difficult on a big road. Although, maybe they would have been hopeful seeing this at the start. Jorgensen 40 seconds ahead of Lipovic starting the stage. UAE controlling for Almeida and McNulty, trying to take some time back on GC or maybe even go for the stage win with Almeida looking good previously. Jorgensen probably going to have to defend himself when it actually got to the main mountain. Pedersen was coming back through the cars when unfortunately there's some road furniture and a small island. You also see Jorgensen calling it out and Van Dijk on the left-hand side. Zvijov flicks his elbows to warn of something and then moves left late, puts his hand out, and the concertina or domino effect is that the last man to not see it is Mateusz Schelmoser, who was behind Dan Holer, and he goes down hard. He was in the white, no, he wasn't in the white jersey. He was third on GC, and that was a really, really nasty crash. Hit his head, hit his hip. I hope he's okay. He had to go to hospital, and I hope he's able to recover as quickly as possible. But the race, as we know, it doesn't stop. In the breakaway, though, super strong, big break with about 15 riders. Kel O'Brien pulling for teammate Mauro Schmidt, the Swiss Natty champ. Alaphilippe pulling for Michael Storer, who, by the way, lost only 28 seconds starting in the GC group on Loge de Gare, which is a 7K, 7% climb earlier in the week. So he's not a man, Michael Storer, who's going to lose 2 minutes on the final climb. If that, he'd barely lose 1 minute. EF also had the combination of Steinhauser and Paulus, but it wasn't clear which one they might go for. The peloton's probably thinking, Gandalf, can we go around it? No, we must go through the mines of Moria, which is up Auron. So they have to go up the mountain, I'm afraid. No other way, even though it looked okay in the valley floor. Bora start pacing for Lipovic, also because, that's the team in the valley floor to put some hurt on. Fedorov for Astana, Champoussin and Tejada have been climbing very well, but they lost a lot of time in the crosswinds yesterday. Jorgensen looking around, where's my teammates? But he kind of didn't need them with the breakaway with Storer only on 3 minutes on GC. Wiesmann didn't really have to control it because the others worried about their podium places, like Lipovic and Bora were doing the controlling. Chew to keep it rolling. Now, Storer gives credit to Alaphilippe, who he's the man that kept this breakaway together, kept it rolling up the valley past Isola. Storer still takes the 6 seconds for free, though, at the bonus sprint. So he wasn't not thinking about GC, also free prize money. And Alaphilippe just keeps it trucking. Steinhauser seems to be doing more of the work than Paulus. Visma have Strand Hagenes pulling after Affini. Niels Pollitt comes to the front to also control things for Almeida, but the cold begins. The rain starts in earnest, and they're going up to 1,600 meters in March in freezing conditions. So it's good they took the descent out, but who's going to try? Maybe Mads Pedersen is going to try on this climb. The lead-in begins. Haig bringing up Lenny Martinez, also someone who could go for the stage win. And as you see, it's not the hardest climb. It's not a high mountain. They've done a lot of the ascent on the long, big ring valley floor, where Alaphilippe gives Storer, with a 150 gap at the beginning, gives him the chance to go for the stage. Kel O'Brien still pulling the first K for the breakaway. And to be honest, at this moment, I thought Storer had it in the bag, because even though Narvaez starts pulling really fast, who's going to pull after him? Where are the other mountain domestiques? Visma aren't going to pull hard. Campenaerts pulls out of the line, and Jorgensen's there on his own from this point onwards with 6Ks left. McNulty and Almeida, there's no need for them to pull for each other. They more might play for the stage win. Ineos have got Ahrensman third on GC with Schelmoser out, so why would they pull to jeopardize his third place on GC? And with Steinhauser now pulling Storer second wheel, Storer hasn't had to take a pull for the first 3Ks of this climb, and I'll repeat, on the same climb, sort of, earlier in the week, he only lost 28 seconds to Almeida, and when Narvaez pulls off, as we thought, well, maybe I was hoping Fossissimo would attack and go for the stage win, but Foss begins to pull for Ahrensman to defend his GC third position, just to keep the pace rolling. But that's good news for the breakaway. Storer goes, and he barely loses any time to the main GC group from now onwards. Steinhauser dropped, Schmidt's able to stay on his wheel, and he's looking to him, give me a pull. The gap is actually going back out. The breakaway was Stora riding quicker than Vos. Martinez, Tejada, Almeida and co. Ineos got too many numbers, so they can't jump, and then we see why Schmidt wasn't pulling. Stora goes clear. Winner of multiple Vuelta stages. I'm not sure if he's won on Tudor yet. I think he joined them last year from FDJ. Eventually Martinez jumps, but the gap was 140. There's just no way. I mean, maybe Tadej Pogačar could close 140 to Stora from this point onwards, but even he would have a hard time of it. So Stora looking good. Felix Gall jumping. Again, he's on about 50 minutes on GC, so Jorgensen doesn't care. Ineos don't care. Even UAE don't really care because also the stage win's gone, so they're just going to ride it in. And it's looking, though, a bit dicey for Almeida. He's behind. Yes, your eyes don't deceive you. Mads Pedersen is in that green jersey, about 7th on the road in the GC group at the moment, towing Joao Almeida back in, although Almeida then goes around him now. Those two would get back in. We wouldn't see too much footage of the main GC group from now onwards, mainly because nothing happens. Felix Gall drops Lenny Martinez, gets across to Bruno Amaury, but basically, yeah, he's riding too fast for Amaury to really help him. The gap was 112 with the K to go, and Michael Stora, in the cold, wasn't even thinking about going the breakaway, just ended up there with Marco Haller. Then Alaphilippe jumped across, takes a big win for Tudor, who are also vying for Tour de France wildcards this summer, by the way. Lipovic gets to jump on Jorgensen in the wet and actually is able to take 3 seconds back of his 40-second deficit, so it's still all to play for in the difficult Nice stage tomorrow. But in terms of GC action, there wasn't much in this stage. Stora winning 20 seconds ahead of Schmidt, then Steinhauser on 30 seconds, Romeo, Yagat, Gall, Martinez, Lipovic, Champussin, Pedersen. Here is what the West Australian had to say after the stage.
The plan was always to try to be in that breakaway, especially after a very decent week so far.
The plan was that only Julian goes in the breakaway. I just ran. I was just racing on feeling. I just followed Marco Haller. We weren't even supposed to follow the first attack. We were just there, so then we just went. And then it was actually a super nice group. And then it was perfect when Julian came across as well. I think Julian's someone who can really feel the race. And I think he knew that there's a good opportunity with a good group there. And without Julian, there's no way we're going to make it. So he was the most important guy for the team today, for us to make it. And I just happy I was good enough to finish it off.
But in terms of GC, Jorgensen's got a good lead, but not insurmountable. 37 seconds ahead of Lipovic, who's the main danger to him, with Aaronsman probably going to defend 3rd place on GC. Stora moves up into 4th, which is a nice benefit of his breakaway antics today. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you at the final recap of the beautiful Nice stage tomorrow. Ciao.